Missing Everything But the Girl, final week of Fit Stop and day 2 of Nawaz Modi Singhania coming into studio. I really believe we saved the best for last.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Hello Nawaz, wonderful to see you.
Hey Hrishi, lovely being here with you again.
I told you I'm going to be a difficult a patient or a client.
You're not, you're actually a pleasure. It's challenging working with people like you.
Okay, 2011, I have a slip disc, it's an L5S1, I'm genetically born with scoliosis, so result of the injury plus genetics means I have a lot of nerve pain. Actually the back doesn't pain, but it's that sciatic nerve from the top of my left butt to my heel, followed with some radiating pain down the thighs, and sometimes a pain and numbness on the toe. Luckily, there is no diabetes because, it went through a bit of a scare where we thought that, numbness could mean diabetes. So it's all diabetes clear. So these are basically a pinched nerve problem. So how do you think Body Art can help me? And what is the plan that you'd like to structure for me?
Hrishi, of our offerings, I think the Aerial Art Studio would be ideal for you, especially the anti-gravity segment of it, where you work in hammocks, where you're doing inversions and you're actually, in a way, well, don't let that scare you, but hanging upside down. What happens is you actually elongate the spine. You increase the disc space between intervertebral discs. That's really the issue, all that compression. Along with misalignment, postural and other congenital misalignments, which get corrected. So that would be a great genre. A lot of people with back issues come in, sciatica issues come in and find, they're actually even crying at the end of a session because they're so relieved. They feel like something's moved, shifted in the back. And they're actually so relieved. The pain and the stiffness and all of that seems to be just water under the bridge all of a sudden. So I'd strongly recommend that for you. Also, our aquarobic segment, which would be fantastic for someone like you, because you really don't want any sort of weight-bearing exercise to further aggravate the problem. Weight-bearing exercise does not mean that you're actually lifting weights. It means that you're doing something where your weight is not on your feet. Now, any land exercise obviously is weight-bearing in that sense. The minute you're in the water, however, 90% of your body weight is borne by the water. You're very buoyant. And therefore, it's a wonderful medium to work in without at all pressurizing the joints. You can get all your cardiorespiratory fitness in that way, so you get your fat, inches, weight, etc. all in check. This obviously is also a huge issue because, it's a bit of a chicken and an egg story. When you have a spinal misalignment problem, a sciatica problem, pinched nerves, etc., the added weight because of your general immobility contributes to the problem. And it's a vicious cycle. You can't really get out of it. So it's really important to keep the weight in check. So your aquaerobics allows for that whole cardio segment. Plus, obviously, a lot of tightening, toning, etc. gives you supplemental strength to these structures. I'm talking about the spine.
It's Savage Garden, Animal Song, more conversation with Nawaz Modi Singhania on Fit Stop. Up ahead. Kylie Minogue spinning around, trying to spin our lives around, our Erica and yours truly on Fit Stop. Nawaz Modi Singhania. We're under her tutelage this week. The body art expert has just worked out a plan for me. She's saying that some anti-gravity as well as some aerial water aerobics, I beg your pardon, would be the ideal stuff for me given the fact that I have back issues and nerve pain.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
So I understand the fact that your body weight, a lot of it gets taken off when you're in the water. But, given the fact that the vagaries of nature and it's cold, this is that time of the year when the water is really chilled. Is it an outdoor pool, indoor pool? How's it going to work?
It's very much an indoor pool, so we don't leave you any space for excuses. It's not about the monsoon, it's not about the heat, it's not about the cold. It's indoors, it's protected, it's all controlled. So, yes, there's no reason why you shouldn't be there.
So all the lunges, the squats that one would have problems doing on land, all of that is taken care of and compensated as far as your water aerobics program is concerned.
And you're doing very, very safe exercises, yeah.
Now let's come to nutrition. Often what happens is that, because I'm South Indian, My perfect excuse is rice is my gene food and I eat a lot of rice. And you don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. You're more into get the healthier alternative or substitute. Talk me through that philosophy and what do you think I should do ideally?
Well, actually, when I was a child and in my growing up years, everybody thought I was a Madrasi in my last life because my staple diet was rice and only rice. I would have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay. And it's, yes, I've totally substituted rice now for quinoa because rice, all the whites actually, not only are aging and fattening, they lead to a lot of health problems and diseases in the long run as well. I eat all my South Indian food like you. I love my dosas and idlis, and it's a staple on Sunday lunch. But it is made out of ragi or, moong dal. So it's super healthy and it tastes yum. Doesn't taste any different.
What do you do for your desserts?
Oh, very good question. I eat dessert after every meal. I just plowed down my last bit of dessert before heading to your studio right now, but that's not why I was late. So my desserts are made out of quinoa flour, not white flour. They have maltitol instead of sugar as a sweetener. The chocolate itself also has a maltitol sweetening effect, not the regular white sugar. And I don't use any butter, so there will be canola oil instead, which is very healthy because it's all about the omegas, which you really need, the omega, 6s and 3s, etc.
Now, what is your advice for me for snacking? Healthy snacking, in between meals. What is it that's something that will help my joints, my nerve pain? Is there something that you could recommend?
If you are wanting to be non-fussed about it, things you don't really need to prepare, you know what? Just go with whole foods. So whole foods are foods which are prepared the way God intended them to be. For example, a whole apple, a whole pear, okay? Without any preservative, without cutting it, without, just doing anything at all to it. If you're okay with a little bit of preparation, then it leaves you open to a lot of other things. Salads, soups, shakes, sort of thing. So basically go with fruits and vegetables. The more colored they are, the more deeply colored they are, the higher their nutrient value. They take care of your nerves, your ligaments, your tendons, the integrity of your joints, etc. And by the way, we didn't speak of this earlier, but when you actually work out with us in terms of especially the aqua aerobics, you're working on the integrity of each joint, not only realigning, reposturing, the muscular strength and support, but you're actually working on the ligaments, the tendons, the spacing of the joints. So inside out, you're working very deeply.
Wow. I tell you what, I'm going to have a chat with you in studio at the beginning of my next session. Does that sound like a deal or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. Before you go, Nawaz, the website where people can get in touch if they want to join Body Art.
Yes, that's www.bodyart.in for India.
See you tomorrow. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication.